Hi, welcome to a masterclass about commercialization of your work or your activities. I'm Paul Sugden, and we're going to look at something called joint ventures, and we're going to look at incorporated joint ventures. Now, why you would want to use an incorporated joint venture is to overcome some of the problems that are experienced with current companies, which are that once you pay for your shares into a proprietary limited company, you can't be kicked out and you own those shares. If you have a board member, yes, they can be removed, but it still means you're a shareholder. What a shareholders agreement does is it narrows the scope of the company to exactly what you're doing. So if you're going to be a company that sells lawnmowers, then it will be restricted to lawnmowers or whatever else you decide as a unanimous decision that the company would sell. Further, it provides a mechanism about the voting on the board, and it links the shareholding to duties that each of the directors will apply. It's going to include things such as the fact that each director will have specific duties, because under the corporations law, the directors don't have specific job descriptions. So someone will be responsible for marketing, someone will be responsible for doing the accounts, and someone may be responsible for innovation and development. Each of these job descriptions is important because it links to the shareholding that you own and to your position as a director. So what is required with that is a job description. And if there are to be changes to this, you'll have to get agreement of your other shareholders. The other issue that comes up with this is that there is a linkage to your shareholding, to the board, and there is a linkage with the director about doing the job. The directors can delegate the jobs, such as getting an accountant to do the books, or to engaging a person to do advertising if they've got a specialty. There is flexibility within this structure, but the great advantage is if your director doesn't do these duties, then they can be removed and their shareholding is also given up so that they are out of the company and cannot cause problems. You have exit provisions which require that you can do it voluntarily if you decide that you want to do something else, and by doing it voluntarily you can specify your own price. You will probably find that if you set too high a price, your fellow shareholders wouldn't agree to buy, but if you set a realistic price, then you could get out of the company. Your shareholding is transferred to the other members in the company or to a person who wants to come into the company that then agrees to the shareholders agreement and doing duties that are required for the company and agrees to the terms. Now, if, on the other hand, you don't do your duty or the requirements specified in the shareholders agreement for your director, then an involuntary removal will occur, and the involuntary removal then gives a number of steps, such as giving you notice to do your job. If you don't do your job upon the notice, then they can remove you by selling the shares in proportion to the remaining shareholders, out of the proportion, or then to a third party that would come into the business. The disadvantage there is you cannot set your own price. The price and valuation of the company is done by an independent party, and then all the shareholders and directors will agree to that valuation. It's an important issue because removing shareholders from the company is important because they can still have rights at general meetings, and they will cause problems if you keep them within the company. So a joint venture agreement for an incorporated company is a really good idea. It's an advance on what you've already learnt, which is the partnership, sole trader, and the company's law, but it's used a lot in practice. Thank you for listening and hope you enjoyed it. Bye for now.